Today, we're going to continue talking about our money mistakes, common money mistakes that we're making, and the ones that we don't want to make in 2024. This one we're going to talk about is called spending too much on housing. Now, this is a big topic in today's society because housing costs so much for us these days. And a lot of us, I call it, when I have a client that spent too much money on their house, I call them that they're house rich but cash poor, or house rich but money poor. So you can't imagine how much people are out there. They're either house rich, car rich, or everything else poor. So it's easy to spend too much on housing, especially if you live in a big city. Oh my gosh, it is. Coming from New York City, I can tell you, according to the long-standing rule, it shouldn't be more than 30% of your pre-tax income that goes to housing. I don't know how much that rule is going to work in today's society, but it might be something that we need to reassess. But this needs to be something that we are looking at. You need to, when you are house rich, every other aspect of your budget is going to be poor. So it's not a bad idea to start with the 30% figure. It may or may not work for you, but have a starting space. The amount you decide to spend on housing depends on your personal financial situation, where you're at, how much money, your realistic budget. So before you get into housing spending, which is a long-term thing, you want to be thinking and analyzing and working on what your goals are for housing, because if you plan on staying there 6 months or 30 years, it makes a difference on what you're spending on housing and how you're going to go about looking at. So you want to make sure that you're looking at what the goal is, and then you change your habit to work into that. That will depend on what your percentage is. So you want to make sure that you're looking at things that you want to do with your money. For instance, younger people have high debt burdens like student loan that's eating up a lot of their paycheck. So you want to make sure that you are allocating the proper amount of money to your student loan. Over 50% of younger people, live with their parents. Maybe you want to not spend money on your housing and live with your parents for a little while so you can pay off those student loans. Maybe if you're younger and you're just starting college, maybe you want to think about what you're spending on student loans and your college education and what sort of money you're going to be making when you come out of school from it. So choosing to live with your parents, choosing to have a roommate, those are great strategies that will help your finance in the long run. So when you are thinking of housing, you want to be making sure that you're looking at that, where you can stay with your parents and save some money, get a roommate, save some money on your housing so you can have your long-term goals of eventually buying a house. So when you're buying a house, or you don't want to keep renting, how much house can you afford and how much can you afford to buy? Don't want to buy your dream house right off the bat. I am 5 houses in my 40s. So you start where you can until you get where you want when it comes to housing. That's my motto. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, feel free to give me a follow to get updated on new and upcoming episodes, and listen in every Tuesday and Thursday, where I teach you smart money habits so you can make better money choices with a financial goal focus.